Hey, what's up, guys? Donut here from Crew 42, and we are at the Lakeshore Putting League in Muskegon, Michigan, joined for commentary here by Zach O'Haron.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So this league's a lot different than some of the other putting leagues. There's 2 sets of 4 holes. There's a short and long tee for each hole. You throw 3 discs from each tee, and there's no bonus points here. You just score the amount of putts you make.
Right, so here's like a map of the overview. Kind of had 2 sets, like a red version, a black version. You're like in the stands, going up the stairs, down the stairs, across the hallways. Here's a couple pictures of what some of the holes look like. And it changes from week to week, too. It's not the same layout every week.
Yeah, so this week was actually, people told us it was on the easier side, not the easiest they've had, but some weeks the putting league is very different.
Right.
So here's probably one of the harder holes. You have to go over this railing. You could go around or like turbo or tomahawk style putt this, but it's super obstructed. You're probably only 25 out from the short tee here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's more than 25 feet, but yeah, like the railing is close enough that if you're especially a righty putter, your hand could definitely like come in contact in that space.
Yeah, so I'm trying a little elevator putt here. Do you like the tomahawk or like scuba putt?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I felt like I had enough space for myself to try to just putt it normally with a little bit of an elevator rather than go to a turbo. So you'll see me try to go just up and down. But yeah, I think any of those putts are fine from this distance. Nothing is a bad choice.
So the guys that run this league try really hard just to try to challenge everyone.
Yeah.
Like their intent is to make it difficult and to put you in awkward situations so you're not just doing routine putts from 20 or 30 or 40 feet.
So the first one was right up against the railing. So this is round 2, so you'll see on the scorecards in the bottom there, the black circles represent the first position and the white ones represent the second position. So Scott Jr. there just made 2 of those. And the second position here, you'll see, so Scott Sr. now putting, he's a lefty, so he's going left-hand elevator putt. It's a little farther away from the rail, so you have a little more space to kind of make out run at it a little more.
Yeah, I could get mostly a full extension here.
Yeah.
On my putt, the short was very difficult. You almost had to do a hinge.
Yeah.
On your elbow.
Looking back now, I might have gone turbo instead.
Yeah, you were warming up turbo and it looked pretty good, but you just need a little more practice with your turbo probably.
Yep, just seeing what I could do. Just probably went back to something comfortable as I throw another one short there, but that's okay. It's all for fun today. But it was a really, really casual setting too. You know, the rink, the hockey rink that's downstairs, you'll see pictures of that as we go around. They had a youth hockey games going on at the same time. There's other people there. It's just a really fun environment to be in the whole day. So that was the first hole.
Hole 2 here, it's just in the hallway. This is probably the easiest putt of the entire night.
Yep.
This is probably just inside circle, and then the long tees is just outside circle.
Yeah, this one might be 20, 25. This one looks closer now that I look at it now, but I remember it being farther away when I did it.
the camera makes some interesting things.
The 2 trash bins on the side just kind of like are visually there to like affect you, right? But they shouldn't play an impact on it.
Yeah, unless you're banking it in.
Right.
They're not going to hurt you at all.
Right, yeah, I don't think anything will spit out.
So if you want to go to this putting league, you go in the top entrance of this hockey rink right at Rad Dad's, which is like a taco place. And you can actually get food at the taco place while you're here. They have like futuristic barbecue tacos.
Yeah.
They're very hip. It's not like non-traditional food.
So you can see that green mark on the ground there.
The green mark is actually the kids' tees.
Right.
So
and then the yellow mark behind it is where we teed off the first round there. So this one's a little farther back. This is at Circle's Edge. So Scott Sr. here going lefties, 2 for 2. Almost got that bank. And you can see in the background right there's 3 more people throwing putts. So you go into squads kind of where you're on. So we're on the gray course for round 1 here. All these baskets are the same. On the other course there where you see those guys playing in the background, they're playing on 4 different baskets that are like called a red course. And so you don't switch until after you play all 4 holes, and there's like a break in between. So
Yeah, you do like a little round of 4.
yeah,
So this was a really interesting way to play putting league. I actually really, really enjoyed this, being someone who's not great at putting.
yeah,
And you enjoyed it too, being
Yeah.
someone who's an excellent putter, I would
right,
say.
yeah,
And so it really adds a little bit of depth to your putting practice. So this one's going to be tough for Scott Sr. coming up next. He's a lefty
Yeah.
and cannot hyzer this at all. Luckily, he putts super flat and attacks the basket with a real straight disc. So
Yeah.
he's not going to have too much trouble.
You
But-
can see in the background right now before the hockey games, there was just like casual skating on, so we had music going on at this point.
Yeah, and then our footing is a little obstructed here, so I can't go into my straddle, which I prefer.
There's a good
But,
one that goes in.
I mean,
Girl checking that out.
it's really difficult to mimic some putts you get in awkward situations on a course.
Right.
But then they do a really nice job of it at this hockey rink because there's just so much stuff in the way.
Right.
And they really force the baskets and the tee pads, as I'm calling them, into awkward positions to force these tough putts.
Yep. Yeah, and they use the stairs really well too. So like some of them are changing in elevation as well. So as one putt might be coming a little below the level of ground of the basket. So like this basket is actually up one level. You can see it in the
It's
rail
up
there.
2 steps.
Yep, and the rail there is like at the level, maybe a touch higher than the rim of the basket, so you kind of have to putt over it.
You saw your first putt there. You kind of banked it off
Yeah.
that rail there.
I got a little lucky, but that's okay. I'll forgive myself. Scott Jr. hitting that second one there, and the third one throwing it just hyzered in, shaking his head no, but hey, you can't argue with the results. I never felt at all that I was in the way of anyone in this league, which I really liked, because it feels like when you get in a public space like this that you'll have other people walk in front of you, or like you're kind of disrupting the flow of the environment, and I did not feel that at all.
Right,
It was
yeah.
really, really nice. Like we had our own little space. The whole other half of the arena had plenty of space to do what they needed to do, and we weren't in like crossing fields at all. It was really well organized to make sure that everyone was had their time and place to be where they needed to be and have a good time.
And then you'll see in our second round here, there won't be any figure skaters around. There's like a youth hockey game
Yep.
in the league that I grew up playing in for like 15 years or
Okay.
whatever through.
Got your old
Grade
banner
school.
hanging up there somewhere?
Yeah, this rink is actually a lot different than when I played here. They've done a ton of renovations. This building is beautiful now. It was
Yeah.
a little almost rustic before that, which is kind of its own feel, but they've done a lot of really positive changes to this building in the last few years.
So the cameraman, like a big dum-dum, missed the first shot from Scott Jr. that he made. Spoiler alert, I was the cameraman at that time, so it's okay. But he made his first 3 putts. This one's really elevated. Even though it looks high up, it's even bigger in person.
I mean, it's probably 35 degrees up.
Yep. And that railing on the right side there, that bar as you go up, right, the handrail.
Definitely cuts off the basket.
It does. It actually probably takes off a good, it's probably
15% of the basket.
Yep, those 2 outside chains are covered right now by that. And so that was like, you had to kind of keep it on the AM side in order to be real aggressive.
And then your stroke is obstructed here too because the seats are in the way. And then
And the rail.
if you come over to your left hip here, the rail's in the way for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in this basket, and I like it a lot.
And Hillary's score really does not reflect her putting because she looks really good to
Yeah.
only have scored 3.
Well, she's hit basket.
Yeah, she's
several
all
times.
over everything.
Right, yeah, she's hit a lot of stuff. And so we got the Zamboni going. The hockey game's about to start here.
And then this long tee here is even more obstructed because
Yep.
the railing is in your way, so you have to have a little bit different stroke.
It's on the other side than what we were, too. So, like, the lefty, this doesn't affect too much. It actually opens them up.
Yeah, you can hyzer it in.
But the righty actually, like you're saying, has to actually pick up their hand a little bit higher to make sure that they release above the rail there. Oh, we got a friendly wave from one of the other competitors. He just wants to be on the channel.
And maybe if we come back, we can feature him.
That's right. And this was, how far away do you think this was if we were on flat ground? 25?
25, easily 25.
Yeah,
or
25.
more.
And it feels like much bigger.
I mean, this is a very very firm putt. You have to really
Yeah.
throw it.
It reminds me of the breakers. There's a hole in breakers, that elevated one on top of the stump.
Oh, the par 4?
Yeah, that's what it made me think of. It's just so high up there. 2 for 2.
Is Zach heating up here? Trying to
Being,
prove to everyone that.
I can make 6 in a row.
Yeah, your putting's really come a long way in the last
Yeah.
fall. We haven't gotten you on camera much. But Zach really started dialing in his form.
Yeah.
And started making really, really long putts, too.
So that's round 1. So we're at this point, everyone's kind of come together. While we have this moment, we're going to say thanks to all the sponsors of the event, including Sweet Spots, Rat Pack Disc Golf, the Nice Shots, and Rad Dads for helping everyone out at the Lakeshore Disc Golf Club for doing this. But at this point, everyone's coming together, getting some food real quick, getting ready for round 2, and then he redistributes it. So people who've been playing hot. So we have a new card here with Rorik, Povis, and Jason here, and they shot hot round in the previous round over on the silver baskets with us.
Yeah, so Zach actually was the top scoring player
Yes.
from round 1 on the gray baskets.
Yep.
And then these are the other 3 hottest players, and then they threw me onto the card so I can help out with the camera.
Yeah, and so that was.
I was not the 5th hottest player.
And I will say that and Scott is really, really great. He works with everyone. He does, we're not here to ruffle feathers. We're here to have a great time. So if people are asking to be with other people on cards, he's really accommodating. So everyone's just playing him. But for today, he just put the the hotter scores on the card so we can see some more great putting.
Yeah, it's a little better coverage.
Yeah.
A little better content. And
I think I was only hot score by one.
That's correct.
To,
And then
I think to Rourke and Povis. I think Jason had
2 lower than you.
2 lower than me, right. And I am not liking this position. This railing is in my way. And I threw it on the am side low 3 times. Great way to start.
And then long tee here, again, just as obstructed.
Yeah.
It's just like 2 steps further down.
Yep. So you're adding another 6-7 feet to the distance here. The railing actually gets even a little more different. And I do like the rule too. So some of you might be wondering, like, why wouldn't you just take another step farther back, like a pad, right?
Right.
Well, like we treat all the marks, or at least the way we played it was we treat all the marks like your mini, right?
Right.
So you have to be within the distance of your mini there. So you saw
So
this,
you can step like a half a step lower,
Right.
but then you have to get pretty uncomfortable to try to get up.
right.
And there's a lot of sportsmanship going on, and everyone's trying to create the putt that way it was designed.
right.
There's not a ton at stake here. Like,
Right.
There's not a ton to gain by making every single putt, and it's really partially for fun and a lot for practice too.
Yeah, I know that they split the league into 2 different divisions too. So some people are playing for like funny money, and other people are playing for cash. And so we have a mix of this right now. I think Rorik plays for cash. I think he's in that upper division. I don't know if the other 2 are not, but I'd have to look it up. But so here's the second hole now. Really interesting hole. It looks really simple, but it's like I don't know what it is. It messed with me. Like there's an optical illusion directly behind this.
There's definitely a lot going on in the background here.
Right.
It almost mimics you if you're lead card on open, even if you're not on coverage, but some sort of gallery.
Right.
Because there's just a lot of distractions. There's a lot of noise. The hockey game has started in the center of the rink. There's some fans going on for that, mostly parents and
You see the next
friends.
card in front of you. They're coming back towards us.
And plus this their new theme and background in this rink since they've done the construction is
Much more
almost
colorful.
on the obnoxious side where there's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetic, I like what
I
it looks like.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot here.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how it looks like, but this is definitely outside of circle.
Yeah, it
for
is.
our putt
Yeah,
here.
this
This
is-
is a solid 35 plus.
Yep. And then the next putt, we back up further. It's just more straight on, like hallway wise.
Yep.
And that's actually I think that's a useful tip or useful use of the hallway here. Not being directly straight on it makes it feel like you're off-centered to the basket. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it definitely messes with your optics a little bit. Makes you think a little bit more on how you're lined up.
I'm 0 for 6 from the short so far.
Yeah, that was not great. You drew a lot of metal, but then these are the practice baskets that aren't the strongest chains.
Right.
But it is what it is. You got to make it no matter what it is.
Yeah, just hit center and still go in.
A little bit awkward camera angle here. There's actually a wall right behind you. If your back foot goes back too far, you're actually up against the wall. And so we have to do a little pan view on this putt here.
Povis making 2 back-to-back there. That was nice.
And then the red course is significantly harder than the gray course this night.
Yep. I remember looking at the scores, and all the scores here on the card were the highest in the night, and I was thinking that was kind of cool. And then after about halfway through this round, I was like, that's why they were the top scores in the night, because the guys going over the gray baskets right now, because like we said, there were 4 groups on these baskets. They're going to come over to the silver ones now, and they're going to shoot hot. And so the better you shoot here, the more likely you'll be able to stay in that lead. Bad cameraman there. Didn't follow that disc at all.
Well, it wasn't me I was putting.
I know. 0 for 2 from the cameraman. Hopefully I can make something. There we go.
There you go.
Got 1 to go. Oh, you see me give a little shrug to the camera. I was like, I'm just not putting that well. I really liked this hole. This was a great hole to have.
So on the shorts here, this railing is very obstructing your putt unless you have a huge hinge and come up from the top. If you try to do any sort of push putt at all, you're going to go right through the railing.
Yep. And you can see Rourke there actually leaning back a little bit, so he can kind of like push through that without having to.
And this is all of 35 away downhill.
Yeah, this is
This is a huge putt. And then there's nothing obstructing the actual basket. It's just that railing in front of you.
That looks like
it's just really far.
Yep.
In a really awkward angle. And then plus the way the seats descend makes you just look at the basket really strange.
This is probably 5 feet lower than us too.
Yeah,
right?
It's right around your feet.
Yeah.
The chains are where your feet are.
Yep. It's just a very interesting one. I liked it a lot. That doesn't mean I putted well on it, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was very cool. Jason, kind of unbelievable 3 for 3 on this basket.
Yeah,
that's
really good. We're just gonna let that one be.
That was a good putt. I mean,
and that one felt dead on.
You're all over it.
And that one was just
that
low.
That was not great.
Yeah.
And then, excellent editing work here by Zach, because this tournament putting league is super casual, and you can go in any order you want.
Right.
You kind of just walk as a card up to the hole, and hey, are you ready? Sure. Like I'm standing next to it, I'm just gonna putt. And then this was edited to be in the same order every single time to add a little more continuity.
Yep. And that way you see, sometimes you'll see every once in a while you see like a random disc on the ground that was there, and then the next player plays and it's not there anymore.
Oh, you're putting discs in and out of the cage. Well, Jason finally missing one. So this is the long tee pad. This one's unobstructed, but you're probably just over 40 away from.
Yeah, I'd say 45. Yeah.
It's like a super long descending putt.
Yeah, 5 for 6 on that is really good. And I just want to point out too, at this point in this 9, I'm 0 for 9 from the shorts.
That's not great.
It was, but I've made 5 from the longs.
That's respectable, but not absurd.
Yeah, it's just really fun. I just like noticed it's like that's just very strange for me. It's just
I had a great time on the gray course, and then the red course is just a little long for me at my skill level. You know, like a mid 800s player, and the putting is by far the worst part of my game.
Sure, for right now, yeah. Okay, last hole for us in the league. You can see the hole that we started on. They're teeing up there, so you can still see them in the picture. In fact, there's Scott from round 1. We're putting at that red basket there. Is this probably sitting?
This is the easiest one of the 4.
Yeah, it is the shortest one for sure as well.
I mean, 25 or maybe even just inside, but it's just a strange, really bizarre footing. The way these seats are.
Yep.
If you lean back at all, your thigh it kind of jabs into the handlebar.
The wall makes you want to throw a big hyzer.
Right, but you don't even have to.
You don't, really. You don't. You can throw however you want. So you see here Jason trying to throw a big hyzer to avoid that wall. He didn't need to, but it's just mentally there. So
he's also a pretty good putter like that.
yeah, and he's been hot all around.
Well, he's got a very dynamic putt where he can change what his angle of attack is.
Yep.
Not everyone's like that. A lot of people like to only hyzer or only go straight at the basket.
Mm-hmm. And so for this first round, we're actually on ground level, and the basket's up one flight of stairs. Or up one flight, I guess, or one stair. So it's just a little bit of ahead of us. That basket rail is right where you see it. That's pretty close to what I saw as well. It's like right at the level.
And so this one's closer, or no, this is the same.
This is the same one. Yep, I'm wrapping it up. Still have not made a short putt yet, by the way.
Scoreboard.
Did it.
You got a little work to do to catch up to Jason and even Rourke there.
Yep. Just had struggled from the shorts. It was very strange.
So this one is up. Now you're on level with the basket. Hard to see the footing here.
Yep.
And then back another 4 feet, so you're closer to circle's edge, definitely inside.
And you're in between the first and second rows
The
here.
footing is horrible.
It's really difficult, right?
You almost have to stand sideways like you're throwing a disc.
And so if you're looking at the seating in front of you, you're like, but it's pointing right at the basket. The seating we're at is facing towards where they're teeing off at.
Probably 20 degrees.
Right, yeah, it's facing a different direction. So you're like trying to turn your body so you're facing the basket, and like your feet are in a weird position. You can't really open up a traditional stagger stance there, and so...
So is Jason still going to hyzer this?
I don't remember.
Kinda. He's kind of back to his normal putt, which is just
a little flatter,
tiny,
a little more spin. Ooh, that's close.
a lot more aggressive too.
Yeah. Well, now he's like level with the basket, so he makes 2. Even when he's off, he's still 50%. So really good round from him. Going 15-16, I think, for 29. Like that's really good.
And so 30 is really kind of the benchmark for a 6 score at this.
Yeah. Yep.
30 can take down a night most of the time, changing who shows up and
Yep.
how hard it is and how hot you shoot. And 30 for 48 doesn't sound great, but I mean these putts are really hard.
Yeah, especially on that back nine.
So shout out to our sponsors again there.
Yeah, the league. And also thank you to our Patreon supporters for the channel for helping us continue to make content over the winter. As we head into the disc golf season, we're getting ready to do some more tournament coverages. So
we got some big plans for 2020.
Yeah, big ones.
You're going to see a lot of content from Crew 42.
So thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. And if you get a chance to go out to Lakeshore Putting League, definitely do so. It was a great time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.